Hey, what's up guys? This is T-Bone here. Welcome back to another episode of playing Gemstone Legends. So I was actually on vacation for a while, and while I was out, the event, the finest of them all, took place. With the event, you can also win the legendary relic, Magma Cloak. So I actually really like this relic, and I'm not sure everybody understands the value of this relic, so I'm going to go over this in a little bit more detail, talk about the skills at max level, where you should use it, and why it is also really good, especially if you're more of a beginner player. So let's go take a look.
Ooh, that sugar sweet, you got what I need. Sipping on the potion, all that good emotion.
We're actually going to start the video with a code. So go ahead and enter tbone_hero_guide, hit confirm, and then you're going to get yourself a one day XP boost as well as training XP dummies. So enjoy. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about Magma Cloak. So this is one of those relics which I think, if I had to give it a tier, I honestly would put it at the highest tier among some of the others, and I will give you the reason why. This is a very simple to use relic that actually can change the way that you play the game. So let's take a look at the description at level 0. Okay, so at level 0, you increase the defense and the HP of your hero by 5%, but then the important part is here. During the first 4 turns of the battle, grants invincible status for 1 turn to all allies at the start of each turn. Right? So that means within the first 4 turns, as long as your invincible status does not get dispelled, you cannot die. All right? And then at the start of 5th turn, you're going to restore 10% of the target's max HP to all allies. That means whoever's on your team, everyone gets a 10% boost of their max HP in case they get attacked or whatnot. You get a nice little health bump, okay? But what's really critical here is, 1 turn invincible status is not that useful until you actually go ahead and level it up. By the time that you level up to level 2, you're actually going to get the most out of this already. And that is the line that says, during the first 4 turns of battle, grants invincible status for 2 turns. Okay? This is actually the most critical part. So if you don't have enough parchment to level up your relic, that's okay. Level 2 is what you should aim for. At max level, it does increase your defense and health by 10%. The invincible status stays for 2 turns. And then the amount of health that you do receive goes up to 55% at level 4 rather than 25%. Okay, so you get a much better health boost at max level. But like I said, level 2 is where you should be aiming for. All right, so we've established that this is a really good relic. I haven't really gone through the reasons why, but I did say that it's really good. Let's also take a look at who can actually wear this. So wardens, guardians, and healers that are red, blue, and green are the ones that can actually wear it. So let's go ahead and search for those heroes. So if you go into your lexicon, where actually in your heroes would be best, just do a filter, and we're going to just go down from healer, guardian, and warden, and then select the first 3 colors on the left. Go ahead and save, and you can see who fall in these categories. All of these heroes can equip the Magma Cloak, and a lot of them will be really good candidates. So I'm going to show you a couple heroes that I think are perfect. In terms of the epic heroes, Najar is going to be a very good choice for you to equip, and I'll show you the reason why. And also there is, Inula is going to be good for her, sleeping ability. Polina is another really good one on the epic side. These are heavily used. Hempi is also a good hero. These are heavily used epic and rare heroes. And then for the legendary, I think a lot of people have chosen to put it on Arendelle. I personally have put it on Balfour for his ability to basically silence opponents. I think Kerrigan is also going to be another option, as well as Raven. Okay, so basically lots of heroes can take advantage of this. Let's go through some different scenarios and see why I think it's really good. We're going to start with the guild boss. All right, so let's go ahead and we're actually going to do a pre-recorded video because I did this while Bastet is still available. I have a team here that will go up against Bastet, which is going to deal single damage against our allies. And for that, Gorak is going to be the one that will be dealing damage primarily, and Najar is going to be the taunting hero that's required for Bastet bosses, and he's also going to be one that will be wearing the Magma Cloak. And so if we take a look now and see what's going on here, I don't have a team that's fast enough. And this is usually what most people face. You can see we start actually with 2 turns of invincible, and Gorak takes fatal damage. Next turn, again, I get 2 turns of invincible. All right. So no matter what happens, even if I get dispelled the first turn, I will actually be able to get it back in the second turn. Okay, and so forth. So for the first 4 turns, I'm guaranteed, as long as I don't get my invincible status dispelled, I'm guaranteed to stay alive. And you can see here, Gorak is staying alive. And this is the other thing that I think is really critical. Notice that Najar, who is actually the hero that I need to be taunting, I still haven't been able to get enough red gems to actually activate him. Okay, we're now on turn 4. We still have 2 turns of invincible, and this is where it makes a difference. Because I have 2 turns, I can actually use this turn to do an attack, wait, and then allow the boss to deal damage again with invincible on, so I don't actually die. Okay, now I can go ahead and try and get Najar's skill going, while also trying to see if I can actually get more activation out of Gorak, which I could. So this is the key part here, right? Without this in place, I would have run out of health a long time ago. Like, my team would have been decimated, and I simply wouldn't be able to do a lot of damage. So having this relic already allows you to stay alive long enough for you to establish a team and to be able to do well, right? Or at least much better than you were before. So to me, this alone is the reason why I think that it is like a top tier relic. It literally will change the way that you think about your guild bosses. If this was something that you were struggling with before, you're going to have a much easier time now. So I will go into more details, for the different guild bosses, hopefully, in the near future. But for now, just know that this is something that I believe has dramatically changed, your survivability in the guild boss, and that by itself, I think is great. Now I'm going to talk about something a little bit interesting in terms of the mechanic of the heroes and also Magma Cloak and how it works. We're going to start with Virgo. If you take a look at Virgo, if you have her, she's a wonderful hero, totally worth investing in. If you ever do pull her, her passive ability, okay, has the chance, well, not chance. At the beginning of her turn, she will increase all of the counters for a random positive status in her team by 2 turns. Okay, so she'll pick one, and then she'll take all of them and increase it by 2. So if you take a look at how that works, I'm going to show you again another sort of replay now, where I have Virgo in place because I want her to activate. So you can see, look, Najar's the cloak gets the 2 turns, and then Virgo goes ahead and increases the counter by 2. So now we have 4 turns of invincible. All right, and then it goes down by 1, and notice that at the second turn when the Magma Cloaks activate again, the number of turns does not get written over. Okay, so I actually still have 3 turns here. This would have been huge if, let's say, the number of the enemies actually went multiple times before me, because my turn never actually technically decreases. So that 4 turns actually would last me 4 full turns before it's gone. But this is just a very interesting sort of mechanic here, where you can actually increase the number of invincible turns by using your heroes that you have at your disposal as well. So this is with Virgo as an example. There are others as well. So what we can do is, take a look at 2 other heroes that have this sort of capability. And the first one is actually going to be, these are the 3 heroes I know of. One is going to be Jove. When you activate his own skill, he will increase all of the counters for positive stats on himself by 2 turns. So if he has invincible on him and you activate his skill while it's on him, he'll get 2 additional turns of invincible. And if you have, let's say, hope set so that you can activate him multiple times, you can actually increase the number of invincible status on him multiple times. Okay, and imagine this: if your opponent does not have a dispelling capability, you're now sitting pretty with this. All right, so invincible is a really strong status that because the relic is giving it, that's what makes it super strong. The other hero that I'm thinking of that actually has a similar capability is going to be Meminet. I think that's how you say his name. So his ability also, when you activate his special ability, will increase all the counters for 4 different positive stats now, okay? 4 different random positive stats, but it only increases it by 1 turn. All right, so Epic Hero increased by 1 turn, totally reasonable, but still really good. Again, similar idea. If you have hope set on him, you can use him multiple times. You can just keep increasing the positive stats. All right, and so these are sort of like an interesting mechanic here, and I'm actually going to be able to show you how you can use Meminet in an arena fight. So let's take a look at that. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and jump into a live PvP fight right now. Arendelle is going to be the hero that will have the Magma Cloak on him. As I mentioned, he is a popular choice. And Meminet is on the team right now, and I'm actually going to go for a fast team. And let's go ahead and jump into the fight and see how this all ties together. All right, so you can see we actually have 3 turns to go before we lose our turn, which is perfect. Okay, and what I'm going to do is, you can see every turn I'm getting my invincible status. All right, and I'm going to try and also see if I can also get Meminet's skill to go, although I'm not sure if that's quite enough, and it is. Okay, and so every turn, remember, every turn I'm getting 2 turns of invincible. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm actually going to go ahead and save this for now. Okay, and what we're going to do is I'm just going to let my opponent deal attack and see what happens. Okay, I'm not sure if I'll die necessarily, but let's just take a look and see the kind of damage to do. Okay, so now we're at the end of 4 turns, and I'm getting pretty much full health. I can go ahead and increase the number of turns now. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and activate my skill, and now my number of invincible goes up to 3. Right, and I'm going to let them do another attack here. Let's say I'm just going to do this. Okay. And then let's see what happens, right? So generally, like, I wouldn't play this way, but I just want to kind of show you, what happens. So we have both, Raphael's going to go off, and we're also going to have Arlen go off, and nothing happens. We are still alive. Okay. In fact, we have 1 more turn that we can stay alive, but this would not have been possible if we didn't have this cloak. All right. And so that's the sort of like the major difference. Right, like we would actually be able to survive the hits, okay, even though we couldn't quite get our skills going, but we survive. That's the key thing, being able to survive on these, in these cases. And it's too bad that I didn't actually quite get enough purple gems to go. Because I think if I had, then I would have been able to increase my invincible 1 more turn, which would have been ideal. That would have been really cool to showcase, but we don't have it, so that's okay. We're just going to go ahead and end the fight at this point, because I think that's pretty much what we're going to do. And so, we're going to go ahead and use the Rosa again and take out everyone with her hit. So that's how Meminet works, right? You don't have to use him. I was just kind of showing you like the combination of the mechanic of the relic, and also with some of the hero's abilities, how this could maximize your reward, right? Like how you do in PvP. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the weaknesses of the relic here. As good as it is, it does have weaknesses, and I'm showcasing the weakness in a custom PvP fight. So let's go ahead and jump into it. I can explain along the way. The first thing that you're going to be weak against is going to be status block, which Brody, as it happens, actually cast at the beginning of the fight. Okay, so what happens here is once I actually get hit by this, now I'm in trouble. The reason I'm in trouble is because I will not actually be able to refill my status. You can see it's getting blocked, right? I can't get any positive stats at all, which is going to be a major problem for me, right? And so now what's happening here is, even though I removed, luckily I could remove this, right? But if I didn't, at the end of my turn, right, I'm actually going to lose it all. But now you can see after I've lost it all, this is actually a perfect example of like if it were to spell. Because it's within the first 4 turns, luckily I still get it back. However, if I were to, use my my skill from Streetblock, then I'm going to be in trouble. But first thing I want to try and do is I want to actually try and use Perrin's ability, see if I can get some attack. I don't get enough damage, which is unfortunate, but this is what's going to happen now. So if you use, the ability here, boom. You lose your 2 turns of invincibility because of Harun's skill, and even if you if you dispel it after 4 turns, it's gone. You don't have it anymore. So that's just some things to think about. So there are weaknesses, and so based on those weaknesses, you can also think about how to get around defenders who are using this. Okay, and so I didn't actually mention it. Arendelle is the one that's wearing the cloak. Like I said, he's one of the popular choices. So I wanted to sort of showcase to you like what are some of the examples of things that will cause you problems. Okay, and hopefully this helps you. Okay, so this is going to be the end of the video for me. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think about what I've showcased here, and let me know your thoughts about this. There are a lot more content that I'll definitely want to still make, and want to make sure that it's useful and helpful for you all. I just think that this is a really good relic, and I really want to make sure people understand how to use it. So that's going to be it from me for today. Thanks very much for watching, everybody. Take care, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye now.